Hi, and welcome to Writing Cover Letters. By now, your CV should include all of the appropriate content, and now it's time to shift our energies to crafting your CV sidekick, the cover letter. So, what is a cover letter anyway? Cover letters come from the era when applicants would mail or drop off hard copies of their resumes when applying for potential jobs. Can you imagine opening a piece of mail to find a random resume? Most likely, you would be like, "What's this for?" Thus, a cover letter introduces who you are and what you're reaching out about. What are your intentions? What are they supposed to do with that CV you just sent them? Clearly, we don't use cover letters in the same way as they were used when they were first developed, but they are still a useful tool in the job search process. With that in mind, I often get pushback from students who wonder, so does a cover letter actually matter? Isn't it outdated? My argument for that is that cover letters offer context, especially if the organization doesn't require you to fill out an application. It's a way for you to address the "what is a CV for? Why is this person sending it to me?" in a formal and professional way. Also keep in mind a cover letter is often a required application document, and they want to see that you can follow directions. Plus, what do you have to lose? What if the cover letter is what convinces them to bring you in for an interview? Why would you pass on an extra opportunity to showcase who you are with one extra pitch? And it shows you were very interested in the position because you took the extra time to write a tailored cover letter. When I was a young college student, I once got an interview because the interviewer just had to meet the girl whose mailman said she was the hardworkingest girl he ever saw. That was information I used as a hook in my cover letter for the job. Without that cover letter, I don't think I would have beat out the other 70 applicants for that position. I simply didn't have very much experience. In fact, one resume writing company, Resume Go, conducted a field experiment of over 7,000 job applications and a survey of 236 hiring professionals. They found that applicants with a tailored cover letter landed 53% more interviews than those without a cover letter. So let's look deeper at that field study by Resume Go. Looks like they found that 87% of employers do actually read cover letters. Cover letters do influence hiring decisions for about 65% of hiring professionals. 76% of companies regularly reject applicants if they have a poor cover letter, and 81% prefer a tailored cover letter over a generic one. So have I convinced you yet? So now that you see the value in writing a cover letter, right? How do you craft one? Well, first things first, it is vital to make each cover letter specific for each position you apply for. Again, we just saw this in the feedback from employers with the Resume Go field study. This is your opportunity to stand out among the crowd, so generic to whom it may concern letters with vague content simply will not make the impression you were hoping to make. And let me share a tip. Save each version of your cover letter instead of saving over it. You'll likely be able to adapt different versions to fill different positions, so you don't have to start from scratch every single time. So let's talk about formatting, which depends upon whether you are attaching or giving them a copy of your cover letter, or if you are including it as the body of an email. If you are sending your CV to someone via email, it is most appropriate to write your full name in the subject line with the name of the position. Next, simply copy and paste the content of your cover letter into the body of the email. Then simply attach your CV. You can also attach a copy of the cover letter too if you want. This way they aren't getting a random CV and wondering what it is for, and the content of your email is also professional and compelling. P.S. Don't use your business email to apply for other positions. It's tacky. The example here shows my business email, but it's only intended to serve as an obvious example of an email. In a letter format, it is best to match the header of your CV for your contact information. We want everything to match, so you look like the same person. It is easiest to just copy your name and contact information straight from your CV. Remember how you learned to format letters in, third grade? With your contact information on the top, the date, then their contact information? This is how you should plan to format your cover letter. Again, if you're using your header from your CV, you don't need to duplicate that information. And a cover letter should be compelling but not overwhelming, so make sure your cover letter is never longer than one page. When you address your cover letter, do your best to find a specific name of the person leading the hiring process. Sometimes you can find this in the job description, or at least the title of the person so you can do more investigating, like at LinkedIn. The company website might also offer suggestions, and sometimes you can even just call and ask. If you can't find the name of the person, at least address your cover letter to someone, indicating that this cover letter is just for them and not a generic letter that you send to everyone. Something like, "Dear hiring manager for the PA position at Community Health Inc." is better than something generic like, "To whom it may concern." When you offer the salutation of "Dear so-and-so," add a specific name and use a formal title like Mr., Ms., or Doctor. You do not know this person, so being casual and just calling them Steve is inappropriate. Again, if you can't find the name, use something that indicates that you are applying for a specific role at a specific company. I want you to also notice that there are no indentations at the beginning of each paragraph. Instead, align your letter to the left and simply double space between paragraphs. And take the time to sign it. Technology makes that easy. There are several ways to scan your signature into your computer for future use. It is especially easy in a PDF, or you can just scan the entire document with your signature. Cover letters are brief, about 3 paragraphs total. Paragraph 1 doesn't have to be super clever, but you do want to give them a reason to keep reading. So this is your hook and where you address the question, what is this for? So briefly address who you are, why you are a good fit, what position you are applying for, and perhaps even why you want to work for that particular company. Paragraph 2 is where you convince them. Show, don't just tell. This is going to be 1, maybe 2 paragraphs tops. This is where you want to focus on what makes you different, better than all the other PAs who are applying, and where anecdote, specific evidence, or a short story helps send your message about why you are a great candidate. This paragraph should offer insight not provided in your resume. For example, this is your chance to expand upon or tell a story, and not just list the exact same information you put in your CV. I think depth is more effective than breadth in a cover letter. Don't just offer a long list of skills and strengths. Instead, choose 1 or 2 especially meaningful qualities and prove it to them. Show them this is who you are. At the end of the paragraph, link the value you have offered in the past to the value you anticipate bringing to them in the future. In your third and final paragraph, you are addressing the next steps. This is where you tactfully ask for and express interest in participating in an interview. So how do you do that? It can be simple and direct, something like, "I look forward to discussing how I might contribute to your team in an interview," or "I'm available for an interview," or even, "I'm in the Baltimore area for the next 4 weeks for a clinical rotation. I would love to schedule a time to meet with you in person." So now you're almost done. This is where you sign off, so include an appropriate closing statement, something like "Sincerely," "Regards," "Best," or "Thank you." Next, put 4 spaces so you have room for your signature. Doing exactly 4 spaces is important, otherwise it looks too small or too big. 4 is the traditional number of spaces. Next, sign it. Yes, this can be inconvenient to upload, but upload it once and have it on file for all of your future signature needs. The only time I see a signature being unnecessary is for when you paste the cover letter into the body of your email. Don't forget at the bottom of your email to write "enclosure" so they know that you have an accompanying document, which is your CV. Or if you are pasting your cover letter into an email, use "attachment" instead of "enclosure." A lot of times when you upload documents, they get messed up. The formatting just doesn't translate. So before you upload or send your cover letter, it's good practice to save it as a PDF file so it won't get messed up. It's not a bad idea to make sure you title it something professional with your name in it. Now you can practice writing your cover letter. You should be able to write at least your body paragraph, or paragraph number 2, without having a specific position in mind. Remember, specific is best. You're trying to paint a picture of how great you are, and that you've proven yourself in the past, and that means you have value to bring to them in the future. After you've completed your cover letter, ask someone you trust to critique your content. Ask them specifically about how compelling you were. Were you specific enough? Does your cover letter make them want to learn more about you or to meet you? And always proofread before you submit a cover letter. Just like with a CV, a typo, inconsistency, or sloppiness of any kind can be an automatic deal breaker. And don't forget to craft a full 3 to 4 paragraph cover letter for credit. Good luck!